My family call me Abby. My previous workmates call me Don. So you can call me uh, any, any way you prefer. Maybe just Don, just to make it simple. Well, my content creating side of my life is not really something that I do full time. It's just more of like a hobby. So I mentioned earlier that we've made some renovations in our house, and the last upload that I've made on my channel was actually a year, if I'm not mistaken. Was it a year ago? Yeah, I think that was a year ago already, because of the renovations that we had to finish in the house. And yeah, like I said, I was the one who was overseeing the whole operation, so I was really busy, and there's not enough time for me to like do the editing, and then because I'm just a one-man production when it comes to my YouTube channel. I plan, and then I shoot, I make some scripts, and then all of those stuffs, and then I also promote and market it in my own way. But it's just more of like a hobby. It's not a full-time thing that would really prevent me or hinder me or take a lot of my focus from doing my job at in case I get in. So maybe I'll do some bits of it during my weekend. No, not weekends off, but I don't know my day offs yet. So during my day offs. So yeah, does that answer the question? Yeah, right now there aren't any active construction or projects that are being done on the road from here to in your office. Yeah, it's pretty much an easy one jeepney ride, maybe around 20 to 30 minutes if the traffic isn't really bad, or just a normal day, around 20 to 30 minutes. I think every job has their own difficulties, and learning, new systems, new procedures, new ways of doing things is kind of one of the things that motivates me in my job. I did mention that I was a fraud analyst for maybe less than 2 years, but I was a debt collector for 5 years. And transitioning from being a fraud analyst to a debt collector wasn't really an easy thing to do. Especially in our case, we were hardcore. The kind of level of debt collection activities that we were doing back in my previous company was sort of a hardcore level. And I was pretty much able to transition not very too easily, not to brag about my abilities, but I was able to transition fairly, and I've gotten a lot of recognitions in my 5 years of staying in my previous job. I've been a top debt collector. In just 1 month of entering my previous job, I've been a rookie of the month for having hit my target for just in my first month of being on the production floor. And then I've also been awarded an employee of the month for being a good role model and having a strong work ethic. Then I was also an operations choice award for being a consistent top earner or revenue earner. And I think if I transition to your company, because basically your company doesn't offer any of the line of businesses that I've handled before, so I really had to make an adjustment no matter where account I will be endorsed to. So I need to be able to adapt easily, and that's something I think that I'm really good at, adapting and learning quickly. Well, if there's nothing on your end that would prevent me from starting soon, I can start at the earliest convenience of your company. Is this a good time to really discuss salary negotiations or? Well, that is not the figures that you mentioned earlier are not coming from me. They're coming from the job posting that you have on JobStreet and Facebook. So your job posting on JobStreet, it says they earn up to 22K, and that's for new call center agents, for newbies. So I was really, amped up and that kind of already set my expectations that okay, it's kind of it's a good start. It's something that is fair considering that we're at a provincial location and it's a provincial rate. I understand that. And then I also stumbled upon a lot of advertisements from your company at Facebook, and well, there it says it's up to 30K. So I was like, whoa, that's so there's a little bit of discrepancy, but that's the reason why when I was asked about that during my initial interview, I've mentioned to one of your HR specialists that my expectations based on what you have advertised would be around 22 to 30K. Yeah, and I don't want to prejudice. Sorry, sorry for cutting you off. I just don't want to prejudice myself, right? Because I feel I'm a bit getting nervous that I might be disregarded in this application just because I set a salary expectation that is too high. I know that you guys have a set budget for each position, but yeah. Right now, I just want to focus more about you getting to know me and me getting to know about this job responsibilities. But with regards to salary expectations, I'm very much open to negotiations. Well, with regards to my communication style, I haven't really reflected upon that really. So this is something that I haven't been prepared for to answer. Okay, with regards to my communication style, in my first job as a fraud analyst, you mentioned that we're straightforward. Actually, the straightforward communication style is more on my debt collection experience. Well, with my fraud analyst job back in Converges, we, as I mentioned earlier, we had a metric for CSAT, so we really do need to have a lot of patience when we're speaking with our customers, especially most of the calls that we're getting were irate customers. These are customers that are out on their shopping and on queuing on a grocery store or at a merchant store, and their cards are getting declined because of our system, because our system flags their credit cards for having suspicious activities. And when that happens, you would expect that they will be so agitated and they would be so angry and mad because they just don't want that kind of hassle and with all the people queuing at their back, so they feel really embarrassed. So we have to really be able to turn the conversation around, and instead of focusing on their behavior, we tend to really not focus and not take the negative behavior personally. Instead, try to use positive and empathetic responses that would make them feel at ease and de-escalate the situation, and that way we can focus more on resolving their issues. So in regards to answer the question, with regards to my communication style, I guess I do have a pretty much inviting or warm conversational style that would make the customers feel like they can vent out their frustrations. At the same time, they can be assured that they're speaking with a competent person who can resolve their issue in that call.